Welcome to Hey Sister. This is a bonus episode filled with additional audio from episode 42, Rub Some Dirt in It. Hey Sister.
Hey Sister.
Join me, Courtney Lewis.
And me, Carly Ferguson.
In our conversational podcast about everyday situations.
You can count on us to tell it to you straight with our own sisterly spin.
Consider this a phone call with your own Southern sisters as we discuss with you personal accountability, healthy relationships, managing responsibilities, and contributing to society.
Each episode will consist of straight talk and a call to action.
Your sisters are calling.
Thanks for answering.
Hey sisters, this is Courtney, and Carly and I wanted to share with y'all some of the outtakes from this week's episode with Kathleen Mooney, episode 42, Rub Some Dirt in It. The following are a few clips that go into detail about how she found her land in Wimberley, Texas, how she got her son Max to work as a kid, and also how she started making her YouTube videos. Enjoy!
So within a month, I'd found 12 acres in Wimberley. And there's a little story about that because I had looked all around the Austin area and I couldn't find anything. And then I had baptized Max at Jacob's Well 3 years before. And all of a sudden I went, duh, why not I go check out Wimberley? So I came out here and stopped off at this coffee shop, and it was called the Maui Wowie Coffee Shop at the time. And the girl, she said, aloha. And I went, aloha? Yeah, hi. She said, well, you look new to town. And I said, well, I'm trying to be. I'm trying to start an organic farm, but I need to find some land. And she said, oh, I know these people over on Green Acres that are selling some land. And I went, I'll be farming with a feather boa, like Zsa Zsa Gabor and Green Acres, the show. And so I started driving up and down Green Acres and didn't see the land first. And I turned around and came back down Green Acres and passed it. But all of a sudden in my peripheral vision, I saw this big sign and I went, oh no. And I backed up and it said 12 acres for sale, blah, blah, blah. And I looked at the price tag and I just looked up above and I said, all right, now I'm wondering about you and that Holy Triangle gig up there. Y'all crazy? I'm 51 with a 3.5-year-old. And you want me to become a farmer? But I tell you what, God, if I walk around that land and still have the goosebumps like they're coming on right now, I guess I'm down for a not so mission impossible. So I came onto the property and I had the goosebumps the whole time. And lo and behold, the lady dropped the price. Everything started just flowing, like when things are meant to be, you hop in the river and you're not scared.
That's amazing. I feel like you really teach by living the growth mindset, quite literally, right?
When he was 13, I made him start a lawn care business because I was the oldest of 5. And so everybody had chores and we all got allowances. But I was like, you are going to learn how to work. But he was already pretty tall by then. So he started a lawn care business. And all his friends were like, dude, I want to make some money too. But you call him on him early morning and they'd say, oh, I just got a new game, or it's too hot outside, or I'm still asleep. So guess who became his assistant?
Mama.
Me. And all I was planning on doing was being the chauffeur. But as we go do lawns, he'd be like, I'm really tired. Aren't we done? And I'd say, you know what, Max? If you were the customer, think of yourself as the person paying the money and do a peripheral view of this lawn. And to me, I see some stuff that's not finished yet over there in that corner. What about you? And he's like, okay. And so then he had another job and the guy still wants him to come back with the AV company. And now he's working at the restaurant. They've already promoted him within 4 weeks. So he learned a good work ethic. He was embarrassed to tell his friends he was working. And a lot of the soccer moms in town were like, oh my gosh, how did you get Max to work? And I was like, I made him and I just drive him around. But I think it'll pay off for him. I mean, it's showing up that it paid for him to do that. And he doesn't resent me for it anymore. He did at first. The video started because a friend of mine, she had built some yurts here in Wimberley. And I saw her at the grocery store and her whole grocery cart was full of champagne. And I went, gee, Ann, you having a party? She goes, oh, no, they're for my yurts. We're packed. And I went, oh, well, that's good. So how do you get all your reservations, Airbnb? And she goes, oh, no, all these millennials, they all book on Instagram. Get yourself an Instagram account. And I was like, oh, okay, Ann, thanks. Have fun. And so I come home and I start fiddling around and I'm like, oh, geez, I have Facebook. I thought I was going to be done with that. So I'm trying to get an Instagram. I finally get it all set up. And I put one thing up there and some girl liked it. I looked at her account. She had 5,000 followers and she wanted to learn how to garden. And I messaged her and I said, hey, why don't you come over? I'll teach you how to plant cucumbers. If you can show me some of your tips on Instagram. Look at this girl. You got 5,000 followers. She was 20. She came over here. I showed her for a couple hours how to prep rows and plant cucumbers. And she was just tickled to pieces. And she was like really into it. It was cool. And then she goes, you know what? You've got kind of a personality. Let's go back out on the field. And I'm just going to tape you on my phone and see what you have to say. So the first one was real short and it was about get your hands up in the dirt. And I may be broke, but I'm happy. And it got 1,600 views. And I said, you know what? We're kind of onto something. Let's do one next week on chickens. And you know why? Because all over Facebook, people in Wimberley are like, the shelves at HEB are empty. I need to start a garden. I need to raise chickens. I don't know what's going on, but I need to learn. We had been wiped out in 2 floods years before, and everybody in Wimberley had come together and helped us put the farm back together again. And I thought, here's my golden opportunity to teach people all the stuff I've learned over the years, but make it fun so they wouldn't be intimidated. So we did chicken. And then we ended up doing 25 of them. And we'd sit down and she'd help me edit on her little Macintosh. And we had so much fun. It got me through the whole first year of COVID. And the views got bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, not as big as your viewership, but it was a lot of fun. And I was getting a pedicure the other day. And these 3 ladies went, oh, Kathleen, hey, when are you going to do some more videos? You know, I love that compost video. And it was so fun to watch. And I actually learned something. I was like, oh, thank you, Phyllis. That was the idea.
Okay, so those are a few of the clips. Isn't Kathleen just so incredible and witty? We could sit at her feet all day, honestly. If you haven't listened to episode 42 yet, check that out. It's one of our longer episodes, but it's chock full of great life and nutrition science lessons as part of our Back to School series. Plus, it's incredible and awe-inspiring. And I'll tell you, I've listened to that episode no less than 5 times at this point, and I learn something new every time I listen to it. So you might want to listen to it twice just to make sure you catch every bit of advice Kathleen shares. Have a wonderful week, and we will talk to y'all next week. Bye-bye.